Hi everyone, I'm Shelly from There's No Place Like Home at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. Although I tend to get stuck on a few topics on my channel like notebooking and relaxed homeschooling and exposing public education, I do also talk about different homeschool curriculums that we've used. And the two that you are going to hear me talk about the most often are Kona'S and Beautiful Feet books, because hands down they are absolutely my favorites out of everything that we've used. There are others that I do like and that I still do use, but when it comes down to it, these are the ones that if I had to get rid of everything, these are the two that I would keep 100%. So today though, I'm actually going to share with you some tips on how I alternate Kona'S with Beautiful Feet books, because it's the perfect combination. All right, so if you're not really familiar with Kona'S or Beautiful Feet books, what Kona'S is I'm going to show you my Kona'S book. It's well loved, as you can see. Kona'S is, see how thick that is? Yeah, well loved, like I said. Kona'S is a unit study curriculum. It is that thick because there are so many different character-based unit study topics in there. And Beautiful Feet books, on the other hand, is a literature-based curriculum. This is just one of them that we have. We also have Early American History for Beautiful Feet books. Now, Kona'S, like I mentioned, is unit studies, and while Kona'S has a very large list for every topic on good literature selections that supplement each topic, for the most part, Kona'S is a hands-on curriculum. Yes, there's reading that they ask you to do at times, and you know they will at times ask you to write reports, and this isn't something that you have to do. With Kona'S, you simply choose the activities that you want to do, and you discard the activities that you don't want to do. But for the most part, Kona'S is a hands-on curriculum. So for example, some of the things that we have done over the years that we've used Kona'S are, we've done a really extensively planned medieval feast. We did like an ear tunnel. We made an ear tunnel that the kids had to crawl through when we were learning the parts of the ear. We did a safety obstacle course. We made a cardboard castle. When we were learning about Native Americans, the kids made false face masks. These are just a few of the things that we made with Kona'S, but as you can tell, yeah, they cover like a huge array of topics, but these are hands-on projects that we tend to do with Kona'S, and they're not always as involved as what I've talked about today. A lot of times it might just include like mapping or drawing something, but I just mentioned really the highlights of the things that we've done with Kona'S. Now on the other hand, since not around the world, I was talking about this one, since Beautiful Feet books is literature based, it tends to be a bit more calm than Kona'S. That's how I will put it. It has a calming effect on us because with it being literature based, it is really about reading, narration, and once in a while mapping and a couple of other things, but for the most part it is just a very laid back, quiet way to learn. Now, since I have so many kids that I homeschool, I'm sure you can guess that we're also dealing with a lot of different learning styles. And so what I have found works best with us, since I have 3 separate groups of homeschoolers, my littles, my middles, and my teens. And what I found that I do with my groups is I try to incorporate the different learning styles into our activities so that I can support each learner that's in the group. Now, the Kona'S curriculum is awesome for some kids. They absolutely love doing hands-on activities. On the other hand, some of my kids prefer the more laid-back approach of Beautiful Feet books because, again, it is just about reading and narrating and those very soothing ways to learn. So what I have actually started to do, and I've actually been doing this for the past couple of years now, is I tend to like the best of both worlds. So there are two ways that I actually do combine Kona'S with Beautiful Feet books. So the first and way that we use most often is that I alternate Kona'S with Beautiful Feet books. So for example, we will do one unit study out of Kona'S, say for example on the weather. We will do that unit study, and then once that unit study ends, we will do the next book, whatever book we finished with in Beautiful Feet books. We'll do the book following that, and we will do a Beautiful Feet book lesson. And we will just finish a book that way. And the reason that I do that is because, as I mentioned, the Kona'S unit studies are very hands-on. A lot of times there's like a lot of action involved in it, a lot of activity. And while it's a lot of fun and we create a lot of really great things together, sometimes you just need that downtime. And Beautiful Feet books is the perfect way to get that downtime, but to still incorporate effective learning. So that is something that I have found really works with us, is to do one unit study out of Kona'S and then do one book from Beautiful Feet books. Now, when I say to do one book, the Beautiful Feet books lessons are not written so that you do one book each day. So it's not like we do one book from Beautiful Feet books in one day and then right the next day go to Kona'S. The books that are included with Beautiful Feet books usually last at least a week. So we will have at least a few weeks of Kona'S and then maybe a week or two of Beautiful Feet. And then a few weeks of Kona'S and then a week or two of Beautiful Feet. And I found that it really does bring a nice balance to our homeschool. And again, it is really helping all of my different learners be able to attain their learning in a way that meets their needs. And not only that, I also like that kids who may not be comfortable learning in certain ways are at least exposed to it, so that they are getting the feeling of how to learn in different ways. But it's not like they're confined to it. You know, they get a taste of different learning styles, but in the end, they know that their method, their preference is going to also be covered in the meantime. Now, one question you might have is, do the unit studies and the books have to, you know, like correspond with one another? And, you know, the answer to that is no, they don't have to. For example, I talked about I might do weather, and then we might do a book on Benjamin Franklin. And although you could say, you know, Benjamin Franklin with the electricity, yeah, you could say it corresponds, but it doesn't always have to. Because unit studies really do cover all subject areas. And I actually tweak Beautiful Feet books so that we also get a little bit more science in there. It's generally a history curriculum. But no, they don't always correspond with one another. And one way that we really help to deal with that is that we do have our timeline notebook, which is really very simple. All we do is, if we learn about a historical figure, or if we learn about some, like an invention in science, we will just go to the year in our timeline notebook and we will just write down, for example, when Benjamin Franklin was born. We'll write it in the timeline notebook. It's something very simple. I don't have room to do like a whole timeline across the wall. That's why we've confined it to a notebook, but it's nice. It's a nice reference point so that anybody can go in and look at the notebook to see when in time, you know, certain figures lived or certain inventions were created and so on. But with that being said, if the unit studies correspond with the books, the next book in the selection, that is awesome. You know, what better way to kind of switch back and forth between the two? And that's actually how I'm going to segue into the second way that we have used Kona'S and Beautiful Feet books in a combination. And that is, yes, when we come across a unit study topic that does correspond with one of the books in our Beautiful Feet books curriculum. So for example, one of the unit studies in our Kona'S curriculum is the Revolutionary War. And since we have Beautiful Feet books early American history, yes, the Revolutionary War is also covered in that. So what we did then was we read the books in early American history that had to do with that time period, and we incorporated some of the hands-on activity ideas from Kona'S because they literally were just the perfect supplement to one another. And my kids and I both had a really great time doing that. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, we usually do it the first way. That is the way, I think I mentioned that earlier, that we most often do it kind of just with alternating one unit study, then one Beautiful Feet books, then one unit study, then one Beautiful Feet books. And the reason that we do it the first way more often is just because we don't have a whole lot of unit studies that correspond with our Beautiful Feet books. And, you know, I'm sure that if I would go online, I could find other unit studies that correspond to the Beautiful Feet books. So that is an option for you if you like the idea of mixing in some hands-on activities with Beautiful Feet books lessons. The reason that I don't do that is just because I am so stuck on Kona'S unit studies. I even write my own unit studies, and I still go back to Kona'S all the time because I just love how comprehensive it is. I love how detailed it is, and I just honestly can't get enough of it. So yeah, I'm kind of a snob when it comes to unit studies, that I love my Kona'S. So if I don't have a unit study to go with a Beautiful Feet book that we're reading, I will typically just not do one with it at all, which is why we end up just alternating most of the time. But yeah, that is an idea. If you would like, you could also find unit studies that correspond with your Beautiful Feet books. But again, what I found is that combining the two, really, it helps to bring in the best of both worlds when it comes to homeschooling. Do you have to combine the two to complete a school year? Absolutely not. As I showed you, you know, Kona'S curriculum is huge. This could easily cover 2 or 3 years of homeschooling, possibly even more, depending on how far you stretch it out and how many activities you do. And Beautiful Feet books will cover at least 1 full year. So it's not like you have to combine them or you're just not going to get a full year out of either of them. They can both definitely be used as standalones. You know, you could definitely use just Kona'S, or you could definitely use just Beautiful Feet books and still get a full year of learning or more. But again, I just really like the combination of bringing in those learning styles, and it really adds variety to your day. You know, there can be nothing worse than just having every single day look the same. So what better way to just bring some excitement into your homeschool than by just mixing it up a bit and helping your kids to learn in ways that they might not normally be prone to. Anyway, that's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one down below. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page and see what rewards I have for my patrons there, I will leave the link in the description box below. And I hope you have a great day.